Hey there, future fellow weirdo of the flock. Welcome to the most offensive church this side of the universe. The Fudgy Family. Welcome. And what we do here in this most amazing place, we almost spill our coffee. Hold on. And we read this great ass book. It's called God Said because he did not fucking say that. This is God's artificial biography as read by
yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage, Saint Nikki K. the Great, and I will be your tour guide on this rendition of Jesus' third leg of his shit-talking tour / wellness clinic. We have a good time. Yeah. I don't know, I just felt like playing music. That is my new intro music, but it's old intro music. I don't know, something happened. Anyway, we are, I think, in the middle of the shit-talking tour. I don't know how many chapters there is. Oh, it looks like a lot. Lord Almighty. This is gonna be... Oh, okay. Here we go. Thank God. Holy crap. There's 21 chapters. So we are just before the middle of a shit-talking tour / wellness clinic. We are almost after the beginning. So, I want to welcome everybody. I want you to come in. I have cigarettes. I have cannabis. I have coffee that I did not spill. I have a chair with your name on it. I wish I could make that darker. I wonder how to make it darker because it says your name. I'm so clever. Anyway, I have a chair with your name on it. I have cat beds and canine space. So bring your animals. We have a good time. I love that. Yeah. So, welcome. Oh, and if it's cold in here, because I think it might be cold in here, I got covers, I think. I don't know. I could probably find them. Dustin might know where they're at. I'm a bad housewife, so I don't know where anything is except for my stuff right here in this corner. Yeah, my self-made prison cell. I love it. Anyway, welcome. I know that was too much information, but that's okay. Now you have it. Hey, Fred, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, I want to share my screen, probably because it won't be empty this time. It won't be sad to look at. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around. How do I share my screen? What the fuck just happened? I don't know. I don't know what just happened. Oh no. Add a scene. I don't know what that means. Hey. And I was just gonna tell you, I will not be offended if I put you to sleep. That's usually what happens. People go to sleep listening to me because my voice is so fucking soothing or something. I don't know what's happening, but something is happening. And I'm just kidding about my voice being soothing because I am a complete nutcase with a fucking botched tracheotomy, which is terrible. Anyway, hold on. Okay, see? Okay. So we are on chapter 6 of this non-monstrosity. No, I'm kidding. I'm kind of kidding. Because it's a monstrosity because of what these terrible bloodthirsty monsters do to Jesus. But that's not my business. I can't do nothing about it. But it really is like reading your friend's police report on camera constantly. But really, this is a good way. Because people always want, like, when they're depressed and sad, they just want to read the red words. And it's like, don't just read the red words. You need to know why he said that shit. And how you can interpret it into your own life to help you out of your situation. But if you don't know why he's saying that shit, it is not going to stick with you. But if you have a preacher or one of them warlocks and wizards tell you, you're not going to get the message. You have to read it with your own thought process, not with somebody else's thought process. Because you see what happens when I go live with my mom on Saturday. Because Christians don't think about what it means. Because they just read the red words. And then they get stuck on, well, I need to know the history of this shit. So I can just skip over the story and read the red words. And this history is why Jesus said that, when that is not true at all. You have to know why he said those things. Or you're going to believe shit like the New Testament, Acts and on. Because you don't read why Jesus said this. And then you don't understand how these motherfuckers are lying on Jesus. But that's just my opinion. But I've been on the other side. You know what I mean? I've been down in the dumps. And I've only read the red words. And I can never figure it out. But once I got these brain injuries and I believe I can talk to God, who sits in the corner over there on his throne. I never read this book the way it should be read. The words. The words are what matters. Like the history doesn't fucking matter because it doesn't matter. Jesus didn't go with that shit. And if you read why Jesus said these things that he said, you would know. You don't need the fucking history because these people are saying this shit. And Jesus is saying the exact opposite of this shit. And you would realize Jesus is not nice. He's kind. Jesus talks more shit than a little bit to these people. But if you only pay attention to the history and just decide Jesus said this stuff because of the history. He said these things to the apostles because of the history. Like, no, he doesn't. Hi, Ray. I know you're live. As a matter of fact, I'll just do it now so I quit forgetting. Actually, I gotta do it this way because I'm a retard. Okay, I'm only slow. I'm brain dead or something. So you have to forgive me a lot because I'm brain dead. Even though they tried to convince me yesterday I wasn't. But if you knew me in person, you'd be like, oh, this bitch is brain dead. I'm only partially kidding. But there it's set up, Ray. Or Razor. Sorry. I don't know why I just called you Ray. Forgive me. Again, I just think I know you like that. I'm just kidding. But anyway, let me get back on my soapbox over here because I was anti-preaching like a motherfucker. Oh, Van Helsing is cool. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, you don't need the history to know why Jesus said these things because you could just read why he said these things. And you don't need to read it verse by verse because the story wasn't written verse by verse. It was written as a whole story. It's not a bunch of little different, well, it kind of is. It's like a short story, but it's still a story. And you have to read it like a story or you're not going to know what the fuck is happening. And then you're going to do the easy thing and just be like, oh, Jesus said this stuff because of the law, when he did not. But now I'm going to step off my soapbox and get into the story, not the verses. I'm going to continue with the story. And this is, you do not have to believe my opinions, by the way. You do not have to believe them. You can read the Das Bible and get your own message. Because that's how it works. Okay? I don't believe Christians. I don't believe them at all. Because they don't read it right. I like the Christians. No. I am like the Christians in the way that I believe what I'm doing is right. I believe that my way is the right way because it's the way to read a story. But that's the only reason I think I'm right. But again, you can read it and get your own message. Hey, Jason, welcome. So, now I'm off my soapbox. Okay, here we go. Now, it happened on the second Sabbath after the first. So this would be the third Sabbath, so the third week, that he went through the grain field, and his disciples plucked the heads of the grains and ate them, rubbing them in their hands. And some of these Pharisees said to them, why are you doing what is not lawful to do on the Sabbath? Okay, this is why Jesus said the red words. because they were talking about defiling the Sabbath. Okay. And Jesus said, have you not read this? What David did when he was hungry. He, which he was by himself, remember this story. I don't understand why Jesus said this. Unless he's quoting that book they made up in Babylon. Which he might be, because I never read that, because like the Ethiopian Bible, I feel like it's bullshit. Because there's no book that should go with the Bible. Because the Bible is the Bible. In my opinion, again, you don't have to believe me. You can read that book yourself. But I don't know why Jesus said this. He and those who were with him, how he went to the house of God, took and ate the showbread. And remember, he also got Goliath's sword. And then that guy told on him. And then the whole priest city was eliminated by Saul. Okay. Took and ate the showbread and gave some to those with him. Oh, yeah. Because David made that up. He said there was men waiting for him. That's right. Because David was just lying his ass off so he could get some of that bread and Goliath's sword. Remember, I remember this. Jesus is right. But David was lying his ass off. He was just making stuff up. I remember now. Okay. Okay, so he did this, which was not lawful for any but the priests to eat. And he continued, the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Now I remember this story, yeah, because David just kept going and making stuff up so he could get that bread and Goliath's sword. And then Saul killed everybody because they helped David, even though how were they supposed to know this? But whatever. Why is Esther 2 weeks earlier this year, last year? It was on the 20th, same day as Hitler's birthday. Yes, Jesus was raised on 420. Yes, absolutely true. He was resurrected on that day. And because that's the actual Celebrate Dead Baby Day. But because they wanted to get pagans involved, they made it the day of Easter. They just were like, pagans, you know what? Since you have a celebration in April, we'll just make Jesus' resurrection that day because it's a floating day. Jesus could have been sacrificed every week for all we know. So, yeah, we'll just do that. But he was actually raised on 420. Absolutely right. Yep. But you know what? I don't know about anybody's birthdays coinciding with that day. Because again, I don't believe any of this stuff had to do with history. I really don't. And my mom believes it has to do with history. Every Christian pretty much is like, oh, the history. It's like, yeah, but what do the words say? Like, what does the whole story say? But again, I am like them in the way that I believe I'm probably closest to right because none of that exterior shit matters. What matters is what he said and why he said it. It had nothing to do with history. I don't know. I'm very bad at things. Actually, no, I'm really good at things. I kick this Bible's ass. Absolutely. But, again, that's just my opinion. But, maybe, I don't know. Because Das Juden killed Hitler. They also, had a lot to do with what he did. And then they killed him, so they have no witnesses. That's what happens to a lot of people. Leave no witnesses behind so nobody can accuse you of treason because you're committing treason. But whatever. Again, I don't know. I think that's the only history that matters, is the history of these terrible ass fucking people and what they're doing. Not the history on why Jesus said what he said. That's a fucking, what do they call that? Smoke and mirrors, man. Yeah, worry about Jesus and why Jesus said what he said and only focus on that and not this over here that actually shows the history of what these terrible ass people do. Because Das Juden actually taught the Bible first. So they got to pick what it said. Or what was to be preached. That's why you go to Bible school, so they can tell you what to focus on. Now I'm going to shut the fuck up. Because I'm talking too much and I need to be reading. Okay. Now it happened on the second Sabbath after the first. So this is the third week. Okay, we just read this. That's right. Why do you? And he's like, yeah, but this thing with David. Now it happened on another Sabbath that he entered the synagogue. He goes into these places and talks so much shit. And nobody even realizes it. That he's going in and word magicking the exact opposite of what these people teach. Jesus is a badass. And a man was there who had a strong arm, a strong hand. So the scribes and the Pharisees watched him closely, whether he would heal on the Sabbath, so they could find an accusation against him. But he knew their thoughts and said to the man, "Arise and stand here." And he arose and stood. Then Jesus said, "I will ask you one thing. Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath or to do evil? To save a life or destroy?" And when he had looked around at them, he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And he did. And Jesus was like, Abracadabra. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. But the man's hand was better. So technically, Jesus didn't do anything unless he had to touch him to make him better. But it seemed like Jesus could just say it or whatever. And if Jesus just said it, then he would be breaking the same law as them by talking. But I don't exactly think. I think maybe Jesus touched it. So that's how he broke their law. I don't know. Okay. And his hand was restored as whole. But they were filled with rage and disgust what they might do to Jesus. For what? But okay. Now it came to pass in those days that he went to the mountain to pray and continued all night in prayer to God. And when it was day, he called his disciples. From them he chose 12, whom he named apostles. See, my mom swears up and down that he never said that. So, again, like I think this book is sensationalism, right? So maybe he's just saying this to be sensational. But I don't know. This is the only book that says that. Okay. Now, maybe, well, not maybe. The things Jesus said, a lot of them are in the same book. Like, they match in books. But I think the way he's telling this story is sensational. But people are like, you never called them apostles. It's like, how would we know they were apostles? Unless somebody else named them that, right? So Jesus named them apostles. Chose 12. Peter, his brother Andrew, James and John. See, my mom said they chose their cousins, their moms are sisters. It's like, what does that matter? That doesn't even matter. That does not matter. Or it would be in the Bible if it mattered. It doesn't matter. But see, that's the shit they focus on. It's like, why does that doesn't even matter. In order to understand the 12, you gotta understand where they came from. They were fishermen. We know that. Easter falls on my boy's 21st birthday this year. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be the best. Because then you can get him alcohol-filled candy. Of course, make it, hide it before he accidentally, gets way too drunk. Mine's 2 days later. Mine's in November. I don't even know if they make liquor-filled candy. I know they make liquor-flavored ice cream, which is a motherfucking shit. I don't know if it has liquor in it, though. And I don't know, do they make beer-filled candy? I should find out. Maybe the liquor-filled candy. That would be really good. Like a little chocolate bottle that has liquor in it. So you could drink the liquor and then eat the chocolate. That would be so good. I would need to be in the cold aisle, though, to keep the chocolate cool. I don't know. Uh, oh, yeah, no, not black licorice. Oh, God, that shit's terrible. Mm-mm. No. But I think we're almost done with this. No, we're not, because Jesus talks too much. Oh my God. Why does Jesus talk so much? He says very complex things. Many complex things at one time. And he just drones on and on with these riddles. It's like, Jesus, maybe one at a time, bro. What? Chill out. I don't know. I'm mostly not kidding because, oh my God. But I guess Jesus did only have a certain amount of time to say all these things. You know, because his God watch was ticking down. So maybe he had to say a lot of things at one time. Well, we know he had to say a lot of things at one time. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna. Oh shit! I forgot. Yeah, we're supposed to celebrate 300 subs, and Dustin made this candy last night, and we were supposed to eat it. That's why I'm wearing my crown. But I just realized I put my Bible on top of my candy. See what I'm saying? I'm a terrible person. Mm. That's the best coconut candy I've ever had. I've had like 3 pieces so far. I accidentally ate my first celebratory piece of candy on accident because this shit is so good. Oh yeah, and Dustin's making celebratory biscuits and gravy pot pie. Should I have the Ethiopian Bible and I quit reading it, but I'm gonna read the books of Jesus that are in it. Even though if I think the beginning Old Testament part of it is bullshit, and I think the Old Testament is bullshit, or the New Testament is bullshit. Why would I read those books? Because I think most of it is bullshit. But there are a lot of people who want to know what it says. So I'm going to separate myself from that and read it to the people. Because some people probably might believe it. I personally don't believe the New Testament outside of the story of Jesus, which should have been separated from the New Testament. Because the story of Jesus is what was supposed to give credibility to the New Testament, is personally what I think. But again, I'm outnumbered on my channel. So I gotta be careful about what I say, or I'll lose subscribers and followers, because that happens all the time because I run my big mouth, and I gotta learn to not do that. But then I feel like that's pretend. I don't want to be pretend. Should read. I am. Really want the Ethiopian. I have the 3 Enochs. Wait, what are you saying sure to? Wait. Man. I don't want to be pretend. I don't. Because I feel like being pretend makes me like the people that I talk shit about being pretend. And I don't like it. And I feel like I should not be that way because I'm not that way in real life. That's why I have no friends. But let's get on with the story or we'll never get done with it because Jesus talks too much. Best candy on the planet. Condensed milk, coconut, and powdered sugar. Mm-hmm. Okay. He named them apostles. Peter, his brother Andrew, James and John, the sons of thunder, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus, Simon called the Zealot, Judas the son of James, Judas Iscariot. Okay. They don't talk about the other apostles too much. Okay. And he came down with them and stood on a level place. And a great multitude from Judea and Jewland, from the seacoast of Tyre and Sidon, who came to hear his TED Talks. No, I'm just kidding. They came to his... Oh, no. Definitely people get touchy about yeah. And no, don't apologize to me. Have you ever met me? I never know what's going on. Just sometimes I don't remember things like that I literally just said. So it's okay. No, don't ever apologize to me. Ever. And never say sorry you weren't born that way. A Jamaican lady used to beat that into my head all the time because I'm Midwest and sorry is just a thing. But no, she beat that in my head. Don't be sorry you weren't born that way. Stop saying that. So it's like, okay, I apologize. And she's like, that's better. Yeah, that's a thing that happened in real life. Yeah, the Jamaican lady. Well, she was from something in Tobago, which is not Jamaica. Stop saying that. Something in Tobago. I don't know, anyway, that she was from there. Okay. Simon the Zealot. Okay. And he stood on a level place. And then they came to his tour and wellness clinic, as well as those who were tormented with unclean spirits, and they were healed. And the whole multitude sought to touch him, for power went out from him, and he healed them all. See, so him in the temple, he really didn't do anything. He just touched them. Something. Oh, hold on. I did something. Oh, yeah, right here. Okay. Sorry, sorry YouTube, I forgot to pull this up. There. Okay. Let me read this. Oh. Wait. Is that people talking to me, or is that this stupid demo thing? I don't know what's happening. Okay. Never mind then. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there's people. Hey, who's rating my channel? Oh, oh, wow. Hi, welcome everybody. Just keep in mind this is an offensive church. And, like, I'm not a Christian. I'm not. Well, I'm what could be considered a heathen. I read the Bible. I believe in the right way. But again, I'm like these terrible ass people. Or I'm not like these terrible ass people. Or like Christians. I'm not very pretend. So, I hope you love it here. But just remember, this is sort of a church, and I accidentally anti-preach a lot. So, welcome. Oh, and I also, oh, never mind. Fuck it. I have a conspiracy brain also, and I get into a lot of conspiracy on accident. So, okay, and we're reading what Jesus said. That right now is what we're reading. Because he's teaching. He's in the middle of his shit-talking tour. Well, he's right about in the middle of his shit-talking tour. Oh, there's another raid on my channel. What's happening? Is that a raid? Is that what happened? Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. I can't read things. Okay. So, oh, this is a Sermon on the Mount. Well, like I think it's part of the Sermon on the Mount. And then, like, another lesson from a different time. Because I don't think he goes through the whole Sermon on the Mount in this book. I think it's only in one book that the Sermon on the Mount is on fully. And that's Matthew. Okay. Blessed are you poor, for your... What? Blessed are you poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. And I think that's like poor in spirit. People who don't really fit in the church and aren't lifted up by the church because they don't fit in. Like people that hang out in my very offensive church. Weirdos of the flock. Hold on. General Piggy, welcome. I don't know if you're staying this time or not, but welcome. I missed you and I still miss you. Okay. Blessed are you who hunger now, for you shall be filled. And I believe that's with righteousness. I don't think it's actual hungry people. I think it's people who don't fit in. Well, why would I be reading this story if I didn't? That's a kind of silly question. It's like kind of really a stupid question. Why would I be reading this story the right way if I didn't believe it? There was a time that I didn't because of God. God the first person, or God the second's personality. And I believe Jesus is God the third. And I believe that that's just what it is. Why would you ask that question? That's kind of a stupid question. Why would you ask that? What would be my reasoning of reading this story? I know, like, I'm an Old Testament person and I prefer the Old Testament. But I'm reading this book because I believe it. I don't read the rest of the New Testament because I don't believe it. But I believe the story of Jesus. I don't understand. Calm down, woman. It was just a question. Yeah, but I get really tired of questions like that. Because sometimes, well, when I first started this, I would get all kinds of stupid things. Do you know that King James picked the Bible? No, actually the Jews did. But whatever. You know, stupid questions like that. Do you believe Jesus, is the Savior? Well, why would I be reading this story? That's silly. That's just a silly question. That's a... Shut up, Nikki. Okay. So blessed are you who hunger now, for you shall be filled. Blessed are you who weep now, for you shall laugh. Blessed are you when men hate you, when they exclude you and revile you and cast your name as evil. That's exactly what I said, isn't it? Like, you belong here because you don't fit in, because you don't believe like people do, because you don't believe like these Christians do. And then they ask you stupid questions. Like, why would you ask stupid questions like that? Because I don't believe like you. Fuck off. Okay. So, they do this for the Son of Man's sake. You don't believe in Jesus like I do. So, fuck you. Well, fuck you back. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy and hang out at Party Pen. Hang out with Saint Nicky. Fuck yeah. I love you. For indeed your reward is great in heaven. For in like manner their fathers did so to the prophets. Yeah, and also Jezebel did a lot of that to the prophets also. And we'll read about that, and that is the craziest story. Because Ahab he's a snake. Oh, he is a snake. But woe to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. Rich in righteousness. Yeah, there you go. Because you're righteous for the people around you. You're not yourself because of the people around you. Fuck off. Woe to you, for you who are full, F-U-L-L, for you shall hunger. Woe to you who laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. Woe to you when all men speak well of you. Yeah. For so did their fathers to the false prophets. There you go. But I say to you who hear, love your enemy and do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you and pray for those who spitefully use you. To him who strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. He doesn't tell you what to do the third time. And there's a very specific number of times you can forgive people. Look, Jesus, he knows what he's doing. He's like, look, they fuck you over once, shame on you. They fuck you over twice, shame on you. But if they fuck you over the third time, shame on them. And from him who takes away your cloak, get naked and give him your clothes. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. Look, I did that one time with a hair straightener. I let this girl use it, and then I went back to get it, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, well, I guess you just got a free hair straightener. Cool. I should have never went and asked for it back, because she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And just as you did not, no, and just as you want men to do to you, you shall also do to them likewise. So I should quit talking shit. No, but I expect people to talk shit because, well, that's what Christians do. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit? I did that. And what credit is that to you? Well, she shit on my whole hair straightener idea. For even sinners lend to sinners to receive much back. But love your enemies, do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return. And your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore, be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful. That is my big problem. I can't get over shit. That's a real problem that I have. Well, even before my brain injuries, I had that problem. Judge not, and you shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Oh, God. See, I just did that just a second ago to that poor guy. Tell him I'm kind of sorry. But don't ask questions like that because it's silly. See, I just did it again. No, don't even say nothing to him. I'm sorry. If you're still watching, I should not have said that to you. I apologize. Sort of. I meant it. Everything I said, but I shouldn't have said it out loud. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same treasure, measure the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. Take that, Saint Nicky. That's what the fuck you get. That is what the fuck I get. And he spoke a parable to them. Riddle me this, Batman. Can the blind lead the blind? Will they not both fall into the ditch? A disciple is not above his teacher, but everyone who is perfectly trained will be like his teacher. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the plank in your own eye? Oh, I see that motherfucker believe that. Or how can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck that is in your eye, when you yourself do not see the plank that is in your own eye? I see that, but it would be painful to remove. And then you will see clearly to remove the speck that is in your brother's eye. Oh, yeah. I feel like I do that to people and then people do it back to me. It's like, why can't we just work together? But then, like, I'm not very open-minded if you haven't seen my Saturday show with my mom. I'm not very open-minded because I just do not believe in what she says because it's foolish and it has nothing to do with Jesus. It has everything different to do with Jesus. It's the history, and you have to understand how these people were. That has nothing to do with Jesus or whatever. Okay. A good tree does not bear bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. For every tree is known by its own fruit. For men do not gather figs from thorns, nor do they gather grapes from a bramble bush. Bramble? A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth evil. For out of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. Okay. But why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do the things which I say? I wondered that also. Whoever comes to me and hears my sayings and does them, I will show you whom he is like. Okay. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently against that house and could not shake it, for it was founded on the rock. But he who heard and did nothing is like a man who built a house on the earth without a foundation, against which the stream beat vehemently, and it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Okay, that's the end of chapter 6. Oh my god, that took that long. I'm terrible. Okay, let's see what this says. Oh yeah, we're done with chapter 6, so let's celebrate 300 subscribers. Before prayer, after prayer. Yeah, that came from Rick Roll. I like him. He's a very nice guy. But that is very, very accurate. What is this one? Give it to God. He knows what to do. Yeah, that's my total house situation right now. God has that. I just got to make a couple phone calls. Yeah, I'm having a real rough time. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm lying. I do got to look for a place. But I got time, so that's okay. Well, actually, me and Dustin got to look for a place. It's not like we're splitting up. Our landlord is selling this house. So, I've kind of been like, God, help me do this research. How about that? And I got to wait to make these phone calls Monday. And hopefully that goes well. And hopefully my mom calls my Uncle Joe and maybe he can help. I don't know. I hope so. Wouldn't that be cool if I could buy a house? Yeah, that would be the shit. But then I would immediately have to put in somebody else's name or I'll start, thinking I'm big shit and I can kick everybody out. Yeah, it's a real problem. Man, okay. Maybe I should just move my coffee. I don't know, but what do you guys think? Like, what are your thoughts about what we just read? All that stuff that Jesus was saying. A lot of it was the Sermon on the Mount. A lot of it was he said that at a different time that he taught. Well, some of it he said at a different time. He kind of like mixed a lot of parables at one time. Different times at one time. Actually, it's pretty clever writing, if you ask me. The journalist known as Dr. Luke, Dr. Director Luke, because a lot of this is written like it's made for a movie. Like it's like sped up in some places. It's fantastical in other places. What is it? Sensational. In other places, like this would have been a great ass movie if somebody just turned Luke into a movie instead of, I don't know, just Luke by itself is written like a movie, and this should be a movie. And I'm just kidding about, well, actually, I'm not kidding about it because I believe Luke here is not a doctor, he's a journalist. But whatever. Again, I'm outnumbered on my channel all the time. I'm the only one who believes these things. But you've read the Bible, or you could read the Bible and decide what it means for yourself. Because I think it means something different to everybody. But I don't know. But I do know that we've went over an hour. So I am going to go ahead and let everybody go. And I will be back tonight at 10 o'clock. I'll be back tonight at 10 o'clock reading we're reading the second chapter of Kings, which is amazing. It's the beginning of Solomon's story. The story of Solomon. David just died. And the one guy, Abijah, was like, I'm going to be king. And David was like, the fuck you are. And then actually, David didn't say nothing to this guy. But he was like, in his head, the fuck you are. Anyway, and Solomon became king. And then Abijah freaked out. Yep. But Solomon told him to go home. So we'll be on chapter 2 of Kings tonight at 10 o'clock. And I'm going to let everybody know I am an Old Testament person. I love the Old Testament stories. I don't even give a shit. I have favorite stories, absolutely do. And I love the Old Testament. I think it's one of the funniest books on the planet. And it's got fucking everything except for zombies. Although God does make a pile of bones his friend one time. I don't know if that counts as zombies or not. But God did. In one of the prophet books, he's like, I'll make these bones my friend. And the bones became his friend. It was crazy. Anyway, so I hope all y'all come back tonight for some Old Testament. Because, yeah. It was nice to meet you too, Special Patriot. I'm sorry. Oh, well, I'm not sorry. I'm apologetic for freaking out on you. I shouldn't have, but questions like that, I get them all the time from smartasses. So, I was dead wrong. But I hope you come back tonight for Kings number 2, the story of Solomon. Anyway, I love everybody, and I hope y'all have a great day. Oh, eat something. You should eat something. Besides, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, but everybody go eat something and do your dishes. Yes, absolutely, do your dishes. And then, look, this coconut candy is like maybe like a third of a can of condensed milk, half a bag of coconut flakes, and like a cup of powdered sugar. And you mix it up and you make it, and then you put it in your fridge for a couple hours, and it hardens up and it makes candy. And if you wanted to, you could dip it in chocolate. But we forgot to buy chocolate. So, anyway, if you want a treat that's kind of cheap, there you go. There's one. Oh, and don't forget to drink water, which I need to do as a matter of fact. And also need to do my dishes. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible housewife. Yep. Razor, I'm set to go to your channel. And Razor's watching the Van Helsing series. And we are going to go over there and watch some Van Helsing. So, I'll see you guys over on the other side. Bye.